So I'd just like to introduce Rhonda. She has been a special guest for us already once during this Claim Your Harvest, but she has so much to offer. We needed her to come back and talk about the StrengthsFinders. So if you'll remember, Rhonda has been teaching StrengthsFinders for a very long time. She's been a coach. She's also a mindset coach. So she can help if you have poverty thinking. She can help you with that. So she does personal coaching and group coaching, corporate coaching, and also network marketing coaching. She does all kinds of stuff. She is an author. Yay. That's pretty cool. She has a book called Dive into Strengths, an exploration into the very best you. She also has a weekly show live on Facebook where you can catch it live, or you can also view it later. So she gets around a lot, y'all, and she is passionate about helping us live in our strengths.
I get around. That's
she gets around in a good way. But I have to tell you, since I have taken my strengths, it has been a really fun journey to get to know myself and allow myself to just use my intuition to know how to move through life. And part of that is knowing my strengths and knowing what I'm great at and how I can hedge the things that I'm not great at. And I find, you know, I've even told you that consistency is my very bottom. I think it's 33. It's not 34. Might be 34.
34 for me.
Yeah. But this Claiming Your Harvest, we've had meetings every single week, and we've had a lot of information, and it's caused me to be consistent because I'm passionate about my strengths, which is ideation and helping people challenge their thinking and all that stuff. So it's pulled that up. It's pretty cool. So Rhonda, thank you so much for being on the call with us. I'm excited to hear what you have to offer us tonight.
It is my joy to be here. And can I give a shameless plug? My latest book is an international bestseller. It is Turning Talents into Strengths, Stories of Coaching Transformation. That's what I'm all about, transformation. So I am so excited to be here with you guys. And yeah, I've been hanging around y'all since I met Shauna. It was amazing. She and I met at a restaurant last year. But I'll tell you what I want to do today. Some of you have taken your Clifton Strengths Assessment, and I would love to know what your top 5 results are. We're going to talk about it. For those of you who have not, I'm going to share what it is, why you should even care. So, yep, look here, Sunshine. She and I share our top number 1. I have ideation number 1. Let's see, I'm putting mine in the chat box here. And if you don't know them off the top of your head, we need to work on that. And you can look them up on the app. If you have your phone, there's an app, the Gallup app, and I highly recommend that you download that and keep your talents with you at all times. But let me just show you, I want to share my screen, and I have a little formal presentation that I'd like to share with you just to kind of keep me on track, because otherwise I'm liable to be here yapping with you guys all night because I love this stuff so much. So I want to start off, well, let's see. Let me see if I'm sharing here. So I want to start off by just letting you know that it really is about you. Tonight's going to be about you, all about you. And let's see, what is that? The blinking light. I got to go check. Am I doing? Okay, good. Y'all are posting your top 5. So it really is about you. How many of you have heard that it's not about you? Yeah, it's not about you. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that it really is about you. Everything's about you. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about you being egocentric or anything like that. That's not what I mean. It's just that no matter what we do in life and no matter what choices that we make, we get something out of it. It's just how we're wired. And so I want you in this training just tonight, we're going to really focus on you and focus on, you know, your talents and where I want you to really kind of focus on where you are right now. Where are you and where do you want to go? And let's see if we can figure out some of the things that might help you get there and some of them that might be stopping you from getting there. So I want to start our conversation off though with a word, and I want everybody to be poised on their keyboards because I'm watching the chat box here. And I'm going to ask you I want to ask you for your first reaction on this word. All right, everybody ready? I'm going to flash it on the screen and I want you to pay attention to your first gut instinct, whatever immediately pops in your head. I want it to come out on the key, through your fingers on the keyboard. Everybody ready? I'm not ready. I'm ready. Hang on. How do I work this? There you go. Can everybody see it? First instinct. Scary. Good, Lisa. What else? Hurting. Fear. Got to be in a safe place. Weak. Beth. Open. Being your true self. Excellent. Open. Okay, so you see, we do have a couple of different connotations for vulnerability, don't you? It can be either a positive word or a negative word. Sometimes it does mean weak and exposed and unprotected. Where I come from, Atlanta, we would call that naked. N-E-K-K-I-D is how we'd spell that. And so the other side of that is open, transparent. Right? And so, and trusting. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who had the negative, did you notice where you felt that in your body? Because that's somewhere in your body is what you probably felt it. And usually it's a negative feeling. You know, we feel anxious. It could create that fight or flight response. Your gut, your tummy. Yes, absolutely. These are sometimes you may feel it in a sudden clenching of your jaw. Yikes was your first thought, Carrie. That's right. So, you know, I know that most of you are here because of your business. And so I want to just pop this up real quick. And, you know, vulnerability at work is just as critical. You're affected by vulnerability at work. It disrupts your work. There's a hidden cost. It causes you to lose clients, you lose business, you lose opportunities. And it's really because of a lack of vulnerability. It's not that you're vulnerable, it's that you're not. You know, it costs you because, like, if the deal doesn't close or somebody tells you no, you make them an offer to come join you in the business and they say no, all of a sudden you feel vulnerable and icky, right? When employees or coworkers, vendors and so forth don't meet your expectations, when your kids don't do what you want them to do, our instinctive reaction often is to make sure they know how wrong they are. So this is where we have issues, you know, around vulnerability at work. I'm going to say that vulnerability causes you as many problems in your business and life as it does in your personal life. Right? So we're not vulnerable. So what? Are you guys seeing am I doing the presenter screen? I need to probably, I'm going to leave it where it is. You guys can see the slides on the side, but that's okay, right? Because I'd rather see your comments, and I don't think I can do that if I click you off. So here's the deal. We're not vulnerable. So what? What does that mean? What's the problem? How can I tie a lack of vulnerability into the chaos that we've got going on in the world today? Well, it's easy. What do we do instinctively when we feel vulnerable? What do? We pull back. We hide. Yes, Lisa, exactly. We hide, we shrink, we get smaller, we judge others, we start pointing the finger, we retreat. Exactly. We blame, point the finger, and we avoid responsibility. And we do it. Here's why. Because we're trying to find a way to protect that feeling. That's why I asked you if you could feel it, because it's a clue. We're trying to eliminate risk and danger. And we all do it. I do it every single day because you've got layers and layers of this stuff, right? It's so automatic, though, that we don't even notice. So here are some of the consequences that we face when we're not vulnerable. We detach from people around us. We don't understand other people. We lose our ability to communicate effectively. We develop shame and we become victims. All right, my iTunes is trying to open and I don't even know what in the world why. Sorry. Anyway, when we try to avoid, what we do next is we try to avoid that feeling of shame, which is what triggers us in the first place. And we fill our time with, vices and just different things that we do, overeating, alcohol, drugs, you guys know, you see it out there. Shame destroys our integrity with other people, but you know who it destroys your integrity with the most? You, me, we do this, right? So shame does destroy that integrity we have with ourselves. So guess what the answer is? You may not even believe it, and you might even be mad at me when I tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. You ready? Well, if my slide will work. Hang on. That is the answer. Vulnerability, the very thing we're trying not to do, that's actually the answer. Vulnerability. It's the antidote to shame, and it stops humiliation and it creates authenticity and transparency. When you're vulnerable, it builds trust and it builds, you get feelings of safety. You can have feelings of safety because when you're vulnerable about something, you share something, you remove the power of people to hurt you. Secrets and so forth. But the trust and openness that you can develop through being vulnerable, it becomes fuel for collaboration because you're honest and open. You can be honest about what you need. And so you stop judging others and you just accept them for who they are. It creates awareness and allows you to develop an alignment between who you are and what you want in life. And you know what else it does? It makes you more confident in being you. You get to be more of you. All right, let me work this here. Here's where I try to take all of my people, and that is, I know who I am, I know who I am not, and both are okay. So the question then becomes, how do we get there? Because, unless you have a roadmap, I don't know how to get there. And that's what I'm really excited to share with you about tonight. And that is my discovery 10 years ago of the Clifton Strengths Assessment. Now, it's a simple tool. How many of you have taken personality tests? Type quick, which kind? What kind have you taken? I want to hear what you've taken before. Gems, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, colors. How about the disc profile or yes, Myers-Briggs, Jillian, that's what that is. And let's see, disc, yes. You don't remember the names. You've done colors and shapes. Disc, animal types, yes. I've not heard of Jacob Adams. That'll be an interesting one I need to look up because I have to take every one of them because I'm a junkie like that. But here's the difference. This is important. The Clifton Strengths Assessment tells us how you do it. Whatever it is you're out there doing, the Clifton Strengths Assessment tells us how you do it. It's not about your personality. Your personality can be seen through the assessment, and they do call it a personality test, but it's not a typing test in like Myers-Briggs, DISC. The ones that put you into 4 quadrants typically are typing. You're a type. And we do that as well, but we go way deeper into the how you do the things that you do. And so that's really the main difference that I really want you to be aware of. Now, here's what I want to do before we move on, though, before I introduce you to it fully. Here's what I'd like for you to do on a piece of paper, wherever you are. I'd like for you to sign your name. Just sign your name as you would a check or something for your kids, you know, the doctor's permission, something, a real estate transaction. How was that for anybody? How was that for you? Was it easy? Yeah, it was easy. And did you think about it before you did it? You did. Somebody thought about it. Tell me what you thought about, really. But you didn't make a plan for it. That's kind of what I mean. Like you didn't have to go into a lot of deep thinking. It looks the same today as it did yesterday, probably, right? Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want you to do it again. And this time I want you to sign it 5 times. Are you ready? With your non-dominant hand. Yeah, if we could open up the lines, I would hear y'all belly aching and whining. All right, I'll put you out of your misery. Not easy, says Rachel. Oh, Mary, you made it. So what's the difference? What was your experience? Anita got 1 done. It was harder to concentrate, wasn't it? You had to think about it that time quite differently, right, Micah? Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. It lacks excellence. It doesn't flow smoothly, absolutely. So we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But for now, I really am thrilled to introduce you to the Clifton Strengths Assessment. It's also known as StrengthsFinder 2.0, which is a book written by a man named Tom Rath. It is the #1 Amazon all-time bestseller. More books, StrengthsFinder 2.0, than any other book has sold through Amazon. People aren't buying Bibles on Amazon. They're going to their local Mardells or the wherever, right? So anyway, yes, Beth, your muscles are not familiar with that writing. But let me tell you a little bit more. Now, almost 20 million people have been tested. They've taken this test. And there are 34 talent themes. They're called themes. And the assessment is used in large corporations like FedEx, Harley Davidson. Let me think for a minute. Wells Fargo, different large companies like thousands and thousands, Facebook, Microsoft, Starbucks. And it's also in colleges and universities. So Southern Nazarene is a college here, and there are 7 campuses across these United States, and you cannot go to school until you take the assessment. Yes, OSU uses it. OU uses it with all incoming freshmen in their business school and in teaching, I think, too. So it's also in churches. That's how I came to know. It was brought into our church as a stewardship program. I've worked with civic clubs and with alumni, different things, organizations, nonprofits. It's just really everywhere. And as I mentioned before, it's the big how you do business, how you do relationships, how you do life. That's what the assessment tells us. And so listen, here's what it is. It's your patterns. These are your patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior. And you've had them since you were a teenager. Your mama and them can count back until you were a little girl and tell the time when you did whatever it was that you still do today. The foreshadowing of your natural giftedness. So wouldn't you love to know about what you already do well? Huh? Isn't that fun? So here's the thing. Right now, here's the chances, the results. They give us these, when you buy the assessment for $19.99, $19.99, you get your top 5 of your talent profile. The full profile is $49.99. Worth every penny. Sunshine, yeah. Shauna has her full profile. Sunshine has. I know several of you do. So here's the thing. Of your top 5, when you get your top 5 results, the chances of somebody else having the same top 5 as you is 1 in over 278,000. The chances of somebody having the same top 5 in the same order is 1 in 33 million. And the chances of somebody having the same top 6 as you is 1 in 1.34 billion. You are unique, like everybody else. Uh-oh, here, I messed up my screens. Here's the greatest finding of the StrengthsFinder movement. Good, Sue, you're officially a strengths nerd. That's what we call people who have their full 34 strengths nerds. So here's the truth. We are, you guys know this is intuitive. We are at our best when we are operating in areas of our natural talent and natural giftedness. So the signature exercise that we did just a moment ago is a perfect example of how it feels when you sign your name with your dominant hand. It's easy. When you are working within your areas of talent and giftedness, it's easy. You don't even think about it. In fact, you think about it so little that you think there's nothing special about it. And yet that's what we need from you. The whole world needs what you have to contribute. When you work within your talents, it's easy and you don't make a plan and it's effortless. But when you don't, right, this is when you procrastinate. Some of y'all didn't even finish. Some of you didn't even get started. And isn't that the way it is in your life, in those areas that you do not enjoy or you don't even appreciate them? So that's just what it is. You know, how would it feel for you to spend the next month working diligently to improve your weakness? Well, guess what? Unfortunately, we do that to kids all day, every day, don't we, at school? That's what the grading system of the public school, that test tells you how bad your kid is. All it tells you really is where they do not lack giftedness. And it doesn't matter how hard you work. Think about this. Think about your report cards as a kid, the parent-teacher conferences that your mama had to go to, and how you are still doing that same thing. It's because it's a pattern. It's a natural pattern. So why not learn how to work within the patterns of your life instead of keep fighting them? You know, I'm tired. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of fixing myself. Who's ready to stop fixing yourself? Say yes if you would love to stop that. So here's what I would love is for you to start living inside of your gifts. And listen, I'm going to tell you how long this is going to take for you. Are you ready? You'll be done when you're dead. Because there's always room for improvement. You can always get better, right? And so you can use this assessment and the things that you learn about yourself forever and ever. Can I hear an amen out of that one? All right, let me tell you what we're really doing here. We are creating a common language. Words matter. Words absolutely matter. And the way we interpret words and the way we understand the words has to do with how we're gifted. I want to show y'all something. You're going to laugh at me, but hold on. I have a prop. Here we go. Y'all see my little head thing here? So this is one of those little tube hair things. I have another orange one over here. I wear them sometimes on my show, but do you see how it's hollow in here? It's like your telephone wire to words. And your heart just goes, when you hear your words, you just like, oh, you just hear it and it resonates with you. You know, it's like you have these channels that you listen to. Have you ever spoken to somebody and it has fallen on deaf ears? It's because the words you were using did not align with the way that person hears. And so they literally are deaf to your words. It really is true. Falling on deaf ears is exactly what that means, is not having an understanding about what somebody's saying because it doesn't make sense and it's not in alignment with how you view the world. So you guys all view the world so much differently. So this common language is passed down through community. Language is essential to community. Do you understand? What is the first thing that we want to do with our kids, our babies? We can't wait until they say their first words and then they're talking and then we can't shut them up. I don't know what's wrong with us, but words either engage people and bring them together or they divide people. And do I need to say any more about that? Because we have all the evidence that we need going on out in the world today. Just thinking about our recent political stuff. I mean, oh my gosh. Anyway, so let me go quickly. I'm going to just show you, I want to introduce you to these talents in a way that you can kind of understand why the other tests group people together, because we do too, but we take it farther. Do you understand? We group people into quadrants. It's not necessarily scientific, but the depth of your talents absolutely is. So here's where we're just going to run over real quick the names of the talents, since I know you all haven't taken them all. And kind of how they function and how you can start to recognize people. So first up, we have what I call doers. They're also called executing. This is officially the executing domain. I call them doers. You know why? Because they're doing stuff all the time. They get stuff done. They're very much task-oriented and they make things happen. They love processes, procedures, policies. They love to get, timelines, deadlines. They're very good at problem solving, and you see them out there getting stuff done. Shauna is absolutely a doer. She's getting stuff done. Okay. So here's the name of those doers: achiever, arranger, belief, consistency, deliberative, discipline, focus, responsibility, and restorative. If you have one of these or more, hashtag the name of it in the chat box. I want to see who we've got going out there. Who we got? How many doers do you? Or you can at least tell me if you have two or more. Who has two or more in this category if you've taken the assessment? Look at all the belief, y'all. Sue, I see you. What are your two? Sue has two. What are they? Belief. Look at the belief we have. Achiever is the most common talent of all. People high in achiever are busy and productive and they get stuff done. Shauna has achiever. Belief. People high in belief have inner core values that are unchanging. Unchanging. Like when I don't mean a line drawn in the sand. I mean like a cement parking bump. You try and go over that belief and boom, they're done. You don't have a doer till 11. Sunshine, neither do I. Look at you, Melinda. You're a doer extraordinaire. Melinda has that talent consistency you were talking about before, Sunshine. Hey, that's my last one, bottom of the heap. People with consistency love justice, and they love things that are orderly and balanced. Yep, absolutely. So it's a driving force, absolute driving force for others when you help with consistency. Here's where you get to let me share something with all of you. These top talents of yours are also your Achilles heel. Each of these talents has a deep, profound need. And if you do not get the need met, you will tank and have bad behavior. So Melinda, let's see, Melinda and who else? Oh, Melinda, a ranger. Melinda has a ranger. And so if things are inefficient, that makes you crazy, doesn't it? Yes, yes. Guess what? That's my number 19, which means I don't use it very much. So things are not very efficient. My poor husband, God love him, he has to put up with me. So you know what? That's the whole thing about it, though. He can't expect consistency out of me. It's not going to happen. Won't happen. Does not occur to me. It is completely in my blind spot. So you help bring consistency. She spends way too much time reorganizing everybody else's stuff. So all I can suggest is that you do it with joy, because that is your life. That's what you bring. Do you understand? Listen, discipline was that one. Who had discipline? Yes, Cindy, discipline, rare talent. Are you tired of picking up after everybody? I know you are. Guess what? Do it with joy. Because you're going to be doing it. It's the gift you bring. And we don't know. I'll give you a little story. One day, my husband, he said to me, how I had been doing the laundry. So I was laundry, folding, taking it upstairs, coming back down, doing more laundry. And he says to me, how many times are you going to step over that sock before you pick it up? And I said, what sock? I didn't even see it. You understand? When I say blind spot, I mean that absolutely blind spot. I almost got written up one time because my office was messy. It lasted for about 10 minutes. It lasted to get through the performance review. That's what it did, y'all. We're so funny. People are funny, aren't they? Okay, let me introduce you to nurturers. They're also known as relationship builders because that's what they do. They build relationships. They hold us all together because they're caring and loving and generous and emotionally sensitive. They have a tear button, some of them. Pink. Right there. And they're very intuitive and perceptive. And so here's the names of some of them, or all of them actually. Adaptability, connectedness, developer, empathy, harmony, includer, individualization, positivity, and relator. Type those in. I want to see what you got. Okay, Sunshine has an includer. She has includer and she has adaptability. So she flows through life. Except you got activator too, right? So she jumps and flows and jumps and flows. Positivity, look at the positivity. Oh my goodness, Micah, you are full of nurturing talents, aren't you? Positivity and developer. Have you ever been a teacher in your life? I'm just curious. And Mary has includer. Oh, Jane, you have 4. Hold on a minute. Look how close she is. Who's she close to? Micah? Up. Just a little switcheroo right there with connectedness. But look at that. Oh, no, positivity's not there either, but that's okay. Harmony, Cindy, empathy, includer, relator. Look at y'all. Harmony developer relator, no teacher, no to teacher. Often the reason I ask that, and it may not be a formally paid teaching job, you know, maximizers can be teachers also, but that it doesn't mean a paid position. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're teaching at church or you're leading, but you lead by teaching. Connectedness. So many of y'all have empathy. I got to give you guys something. I'm giving everybody with empathy some homework. Sue, you always wanted to be a teacher. Well, that's because of your developer. Developers see potential in other people. They fall in love with potential. And it can get you in trouble too, right? Because then you don't let go when they're not going to do what they need to do. Right? Sometimes it can trip you up though. Let's see. Where was I going? Truth. She's admitting that. Right? Okay. I was telling y'all something and then I lost track because I'm just so loving all of this. I'm nerding out over here. Oh, empathy. Homework you have. Those of you with empathy, you have got to learn. You have got to learn how to create energy boundaries around yourself. How many times have people told you to put boundaries up? A lot. But it's energy, because what happens is you physically feel or sense or know stuff. You are intuitive. Oh, those are oils. Why? I want to know why those. Oh, is that for shielding? Okay, good. Yes. Yes, for protection. Okay, gotcha. So those, you can lose your energy boundary. Do you understand? Because you are empathy, connectedness is really good at it. Positivity is really good at it. And they're also good at matching negative. Like positivity can be the most negative. If y'all go, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, that's positivity in the tank. Right? So let's see. Okay. So you guys with the relationship builders, you guys are good at matching energy. Some of these talents. And so this is why you are in the grocery store line and all of a sudden you feel sick to your stomach, and it's because you're picking up somebody else's energy. You have to start being super aware of the boundary between your energy and somebody else's energy. And you can take self-care practices like oil. You can also start to learn how to shake off. Like if you rub your hand right here, you can feel your energy right here. So start separating your energy with other people from other people. You understand? That should be a ritual for you, that every night you shake off other people's energy, because you keep it and you hang on to it, and then you can't figure out if it's yours or theirs or somebody else's. So for your own self-protection, Jane says she spent so many years thinking about she was just moody. No, the rest of us are leaking. We will suck the life out of you. I just want you to know. Okay, let's talk about thinkers. Guess what thinkers do? They think and they think and they think and they think some more. They are task oriented because they are thinking through the details or thinking through the plan. They focus on what could be by looking into the future. They analyze data, crunch numbers. They're great at strategic planning, thinking outside of the box, and so on. Here's the names of them. Oh, I went the wrong way. It's right here. Analytical, context, futuristic, ideation, input, intellection, learner, and strategic. Sunshine loves to be in her head. She's got busy brain and she sees. Shauna, good to see you. Look at the learner and input. Shauna, Cindy, lots and lots of learner and input on this team, which makes sense because you guys love to learn about oils and all of the properties properties, and some of you even know the Latin word, and you can spell it. Not me. Not me. Input, yes. Yes, and you guys are great resources. You're great resources for your team. So let's see. Sue, it doesn't matter that you don't have any in your top. You're still thinking, and other people you can lean on them for resources. This is why you guys want to do this test, you see? So for example, if you don't have futuristic, look at who has futuristic and strategic. Very, very interesting combination that sees into the future, 5, 10, 20 years into the future, and can also see how to get there. Guess what? Sometimes you can't get it to your mouth, though. Like you see it all up here, and then it can't get quite to where the rest of us can see it. I had a guy once tell me early on, he said, I used to think people were just stupid. Now I know they're just not strategic. They just don't see strategically. Yes, you have a hard time expressing it. That's very, very typical for people high with futuristic and strategic. You see so far and so big, and you see the path in chunks, right? It's like, okay, we're going to go to this milestone and then that milestone, and you chunk things down, and the rest of us don't think that way. Oh my gosh, especially people high in input. They don't think that way at all. They got to have lots and lots of data. So people high in strategic will often say, just trust me. Just trust me. Because you don't want to slow down and take the time to explain. Because I get it. I mean, you're so fast. This is how fast it works. That fast. Yes. Okay, cool. So this is why you guys need one another, and you need to start leaning on one another for help. If you cannot quite see the future of your business, you need to count on somebody with futuristic and strategic who can help you map it out and help you see it. Their futuristic will help you cast a vision. All right, let's talk about the promoters, also known as influencers. And these are the people like me who are noisy. Very, very noisy. We are most definitely relationship oriented. We have presence, posture, social capital. We know, some of us know absolutely everybody. And if we don't know everybody, we know how to find them. We're the storytellers and the networkers, that we're movers and shakers, and we're moving all the time. And you know what? I don't have a slide here for them. Let me just tell you who they are. I just realized that that's missing on here. So the now I'm going to have to go look them up. How in the world is that slide not there? Hang on just a second. These are called hashtag first world problems, y'all. Right? All right, I'm going to tell you. Here we go. Here we go. These are the influencing talents. Activator. Type in if you have them. Activator, command, communication, competition, maximizer, self-assurance, significance, and woo. There you go. Yes. Thank you, Sunshine. Let's see. Let me see what this question is here. Charlene, you haven't taken it. For anyone who has this something, once you order it, it can more than one person take it. For anyone who has, can you reword that? So listen, Mary is an influencer. Mary, me too. I have 4. It is a one-person, one-time test, unless you get codes through me, and I can work sometimes with more. I can order more sometimes, a block of them, just because I'm a Gallup certified test. Okay, so Charlene, I think we ordered a test for you. Sunshine may have done so. Let's see. Command, woo, activator. Yes. Okay. So Mary is an influencer. So isn't that fun? And you have positivity too. I think we share like 4 of our top 5. Isn't that fun? So people who are promoters, natural promoters, are out there influencing, and they, like I said before, they know everybody. And let me just move here quickly. Here's something I want you to give thought to. Like, who are you? This is from Aristotle. He said this a bazillion years ago. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And this hits the nail on the head about who you are when it comes to who you are. The talents, as I said earlier, they're how you do life, how you do work, how you do relationships. It's the how. Do you understand? So you've got this big why out here, this big thing that you want. The how is how you're going to get there. Your talents is how you're going to get there. And through partnering with other people, because guess what? While you do have all of the talent themes, you have all of them, you don't use them you only use your top maybe 8 to 12 in dominance. The rest of them are in your blood. When you get to a certain point, you do not get those people. And you're constantly saying, what's wrong with those people? And it's not them. It's you. Remember, I said earlier that it's always about you. So anyway, you will tell the test, if you have not taken it already, you'll tell the test who you are and how you do things, because these are recurring thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in how you do life, how you approach life. They form your perspective and the eyeballs. Everybody's looking at their own eyeballs. Your talents are so close. They're as close as the nose on your face. You can't even see yourself operating in them, nor do you think you're anything special, like I said before. So anyway, I remember that I said that the chances of somebody having the same top 6 as you is 1 in 1.34 billion. So there's like 22 people in the whole world who view the world like you. And I can promise you that they don't view the world like you, because they are from, Singapore or Saigon or Sicily or St. Paul. You know what I'm saying? So there really is only one you. You are that amazing. And you know what? There's never been another you, and there never will be another you ever to walk this planet again. And if you think about that really deeply, those of you with intellection, if you think about that really deeply, it's time to be you and the fullness of who you really are, because that's the very best of you. Okay, so let me just share here really quickly some questions. This is where you can start following some clues, right? Where do you excel? If we didn't have the test and we never could take the test, these are still clues to how amazing you are. Where do you excel? What makes you different? What do people say you're good at? And then what are you criticized for? Chances are it's a talent either overused or misused, because you're just trying to get your needs met, right? And then we have all of those people that make you crazy. They are clues to who you are. So the man who actually created the assessment, Donald Clifton, he once said, strengths can only develop in relationship to another human being. And that's the truth. So those of you with learner and input, you cannot just take the test and study about it and learn and develop yourself. You have to do it in the context of relationship, because that's how you test and observe things about you that you either need, they either don't serve you. That's how you make these little incremental changes. And, I look at it like this. most of us are happy and fulfilled where we are. We like our lives. Otherwise we wouldn't, we'd be making changes, big changes, right? But there's that 25% gap somewhere, a little bit here and a little bit there in our lives that it just doesn't work for us, right? That's where you can make really powerful change if you start to pay attention to what is it about that's not working for you instead of judging it. Because if you can do that, then you can make the changes without any of that emotional stuff, right? So that is that. Let me just tell you quickly how you can reach. Oh, right there, the GallupStrengthsCenter.com. That's where you're going to want to take the test. And as I mentioned earlier, it's $19.99 for the top 5. They kind of have it buried on their website, so do reach out if you have any trouble. And if you want I highly recommend the full profile. It's $49.95. It gives you, when you see it and you see what's at the bottom, because of your conditioning, yes, I can get you codes. Because of your conditioning, you're conditioned to try to fix yourself. And if you can recognize that what's at the bottom of your talent profile is where you need other people, and they are your partners, and you don't even get them. You don't even see them or understand them. If you can start to understand that, yes, Charnel, that it is absolutely good. If I sent you a code, that is absolutely good. All right, so here's where you can find me. Oh, that didn't look nice, does it? I think you've already put some stuff in there. Let's get my tips. RHONDABOYLE.com. I have a free tip sheet. It's just 8 tips to start to think about and look about becoming the very best you. And I also have a group, Facebook.com/groups, and it's Be the Very Best You. That's my Facebook group. Go join that. I have a moderator over there. She's amazing, Wynn Jacobson. Let's see, what else can I turn you on to? Oh, so let me just tell you guys something kind of new. Shauna has already known about this, and she posted it in the, oh, thank you, Shauna. I love that. I've worked that group for a long time, and it's so much information in there. You can go there and research every one of your talents. If you go to my blog, I've written on every one of them probably 2 or 3 times. I'm kind of noisy. That's that communication talent. But you know what? That's what happened to me when I found out that I had that gift. I started using it and I got better. And that's what you want. So here's something else that I want to share. Hang on. I'm going to stop the share here because I got to go search for something. And here it is right here. So I'm involved in a new project. Shauna posted something in the group, a retreat group that we're in, but I'm involved in a new project with a company called Soar with Your Strengths. Look, I keep it. It's always right here by my side. This is the original book for those of you with learner and input and intellection. You got to have it. This is the book by Dr. Donald Clifton, Soar with Your Strengths. It's a classic written in 1992. He'd been doing this work since the 1950s and finally got it written. And so this group is kind of named after him, this company, and they are creating the Global Strengths Network. So I want to tell you just a touch about that. If you remember, how many of you are on Ancestry.com or you know anything about it? You've seen the ads on TV where they do the little leaf and brink. Hello, you may have a family member. They connect people through DNA. So SOAR is connecting people through talent, strengths. That's how SOAR is connecting people. So they've created the Global Strengths Network. And if you follow this link right here, that's my personal link, that you can click the button that says join SOAR. And when you do, it's going to ask you your name and some other stuff. And, I don't really even remember actually, but they ask for your top 5. And when we have 10,000 people on this platform, when 10,000 people are there, they will then have the power to start linking people just like the brink of the little leaf, because it's the same people that are running it. Paul Allen is the CEO of SOAR, and he so loves coaching and what StrengthsFinder has done for his family and his company and everything in his life, that he has found $1 million investor to launch a platform so people could shop for strengths coaches. That's really what the platform is for. But they're creating at the same time this global strengths network so that people will be connected by their strengths. So yes, it is free to join. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what it's for. And with that, I am so glad. I'm ready to answer any of your questions. I have a few more minutes, and then I am getting up at 4:00 in the morning because I'm going to have a baby. My daughter is having her first baby in Washington, D.C., and she is certainly showing signs of labor, or like pre-labor. So I'm pretty excited, but I want to be here. This is my favorite topic ever. So hit me up with what you got. Sunshine, are you coming back to me?
I am coming back.
Yes.
I am here. Does anybody have any questions? You got the guru on the line.
Yay for baby.
So
yes.
I'll bring something up. My husband has 4 thinking in his top 5. And in his top 10, he has 6 thinking. It's in his brain all the time.
He loves his head.
Oh my gosh, he loves it. So when he gets his 2,000 words in for the day, he's done, y'all.
He's done. And you know what? That's something that you have to respect for him to get, because what thinkers need is time and data. They have to have time and information. And when I say time, I mean about 2 to 3 hours a day alone of total Zippo. So imagine a thinking dad coming home to a house full of kids and chaos, and mama ain't done. Mama's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He has got to get away. And I promise you that if you will give him that thinking time, he will be so much better when he's fully present. Yes, thinking mamas are absolutely. Shauna, can you come on and tell your story? Tell your story about after you and I met and we talked about strengths.
Oh, you just telling me that it was okay for me to want to learn and read, and that I needed that for energy. I was like, yes, I can tell my family, like, I need this for my sanity and my life. It's just who I am. So yeah, it made me feel so much better to know that it wasn't a way to cope with stress. I mean, it is kind of a coping way to deal with stress, but in a positive way. It wasn't me just trying to run away from something. It was actually how I got my energy. And even though I always knew that, I didn't really know how to verbalize that to my family and let them know that it's not about you. It's just, this is what I enjoy, and this is what I like, and this is what I need. And hearing that was definitely relieving. And I'll be honest, I probably now, I homeschool my kids, and so we're home in the mornings, but I pretty much stay in my bed reading and learning until 10 or 10:30. I get up to maybe eat breakfast. I get up to answer any questions with the kids and stuff, but I'm going through my devotions, and it's something I've always wanted to do, but felt guilty, and I do not feel guilty anymore.
You are free.
You're free.
Free to learn. Do you
free to be me?
I know, right? But do you see how powerful that is? Because really what you did share with me was that you felt guilty.
Mm-hmm.
It was constantly like, I got to get away. And it was the kids needed you, but you had to have that time. Oh my gosh, And now there's the perfect explanation for it. I learned it intuitively with my husband because he's a thinker, that if I could leave him alone for 45 minutes to an hour after he came home from work, that he would actually talk to us at dinner time. So this is how you start to respect and I have activator. I have a talent that moves constantly. So he finally is like, he's not asking me what's for dinner. He asks, are you home tonight for dinner? Because I'm a peopler. I need to be around people. So he knows that he cannot, I would suck the life out of him. And he would probably tell you I probably have. But he's happy for me to go away from the house now, because he has the freedom to have quiet and be silent, and he's not going to get a lot of that when I'm around. One time he asked me, we were having words. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say we were having words. And I said something to him, and he said, don't you ever think before you speak? And without missing a beat, I said, no, I think as I speak. Because that's how people high in communication are. We are verbal processors. We have to talk it out. So no, there's no thinking going on before it comes out of my mouth. And I think that I would have felt the sting of that. Had I not understood myself, I would have felt the sting. And that's what it takes. When he says to me, sit down, Miss Activator, that happens a lot. He says that a lot. I don't get offended because here's why. He uses a word. He doesn't point the finger at me. He points the finger at my talent, which gives me the momentary pause to go, okay, my activator is out of control right this minute. All right, go. I'll sit for a minute. Hurry up. But you see, this is how we can communicate now more effectively. And isn't that what y'all want? You want to be able to communicate more effectively. I cannot recommend anything more highly than you become an absolute strengths nerd and live this stuff. Share it with your mama and them. In fact, if you will go back to the Gallup Strength Center and you will print 5 copies, I'm going to tell you how to grow your business right now if you'll hear what I'm saying and do it. Go back to the Gallup Strength Center. I'm going to put the thing here, GallupStrengthsCenter.com. Oops, center.com. Go back there, sign in, print your Strengths Insight report. Okay, that should be the name of the report that you're looking for. Print 5 copies of it. It's going to be 30 some odd pages. I think each one is 6 pages. So 30 pages. You're going to end up 30 pages. Share that with 5 different people. Go have a conversation. Have a conversation with somebody who knows you, who you can share some of the information and say, so Mama, how young was it? But when you remember me doing that, right? Mary, who are you? Sunshine is your daughter, right? Am I getting the, okay. So when do you remember, are you positivity to what are your top 5?
Includer, ideation, includer, futuristic, adaptability, activator.
So do you remember her when she was younger, like being a little space cadet, maybe? Because she was always in her head, or she was super imaginative, where she was telling tall tales about the future? Or did you notice that she was especially attracted to innovation and technology because it was new and fresh? And look at her. She included animals. You little includer there. She headed up the animals, and you were a cat or a dog. Is that what she's saying?
Oh, yeah. I had imaginary friends and everything.
Oh, yes. Got it.
Like legitimate, y'all. They were there.
They were there. I believe you. I really do. So you can go way back. So I would recommend with these 5 copies that you tell somebody you're super close to that who's known you a long time. Tell your beloved or your mama and them, somebody who's, you know, talk to your best friend. Share one with your bestie. Share one with somebody who you've worked with somewhat. You know, so it's really, I want you to go, you know, like with 2 or 3 people that you've known a long time, two or three people you've known new. So that you can start to see, because listen, by sharing that, you're going to learn more about you, and then they're going to be intrigued, and that you're going to invite them to take the assessment. And once you have their results, now you're going to see how you relate and how your talents relate to them. And the information is priceless. You can ask them to share their experience of you with that talent. Okay, so it's good. When you print the report, it gives you a description of how your talent shows up for you. And just say, yeah, can you tell me a time when I did that? Do you remember, Mom, when I did something, something? And that's it. You just start talking about, and it's all it is a conversation. And then if you will start to get into the habit of sharing with 5 more people and 5 more people, you can put the test between you and your business. Do you understand? You're offering something of value. Yes, the videos I've made. Good. Yeah, I have videos everywhere on this stuff. So, yes, she also has the wisdom of sage. That's fun. So as you do this and you put the test between you and your prospect, now you have a genuine conversation that's going to help them be better, that has nothing to do with the business. Not only that, you're going to now know how to approach them and what's important to them. It's just how it is. So that's my best advice and my coaching tip for today. So there you go. What else you guys got? Hit me up. I'm here. And then I got to go. But I'm so happy to be with you, truly.
Well, we appreciate, Rhonda, you coming and knowing that it was the night before you were leaving. So I really appreciate you doing that for us, and that we made it, because we weren't even sure if you'd have to leave early.
That's right.
And get to her. So we're excited to hear. Does she know if it's a girl or a boy yet?
It's a little boy. His name's Brighton.
Brighton.
Named after the mountain. My son-in-law is from Utah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So his name's Brighton. So please do keep her in prayer. Her name is Allison. She's not due until Saturday, but they've told her they're going to induce on Thursday just because, you know, it's time. They do that these days, apparently.
Yeah, that was the first thing I ever failed in life, was my first induction.
I failed at 2 of them, so. Yeah.
Well, they tried to induce me, and I went home and waited it out and had him a little while later. So, but when someone tells you failed having a baby, that's kind of that
can scar you for life.
On my paper there. Well, we appreciate you, Rhonda, and I know that it has really helped Sunshine and I learning about our strengths. We are able to work together so much better, just knowing what we are able to bring to the table and how we can serve our teams, utilizing each other's strengths to help us in our areas. Instead of trying to get those weaknesses up, we just work in our strengths and rely on the other one to work in their strengths. So I definitely appreciate always learn from you.
Thank you. Appreciate you all, and I'll let you go and finish up your meeting. We'll see you.
Thanks, Rhonda.
All right.
Good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. I just want to say, reminder that Brandon Barber's coming to Oklahoma City, January 18th and 19th. You local folks, get a ticket. We have people from out of town buying tickets. They see the value. Our upline has always said, if you live within 4 hours of an event, get to it. So you people that live 30 minutes, get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. It's a low price of $35 right now for the next week or 2. And, oh, yay, Beth. Awesome. She's coming from 12 hours away. Kudos to you. So remember that assessment. He is going to talk about that and tell us how to change our minds. And once we learn how to change our minds, it simply takes practice. So we can see a lot of improvement just from spending that few hours with Brandon. Shauna, you have anything to say?
Nope, I think we're good. I appreciate it, guys. Sorry, I was listening to the whole thing on my phone, but I had to be in the car to come back from a class I was teaching, but I got to listen until I got here at home to be the viewer.
Awesome. All right, everyone.
All
Have
of
a
you.
great evening. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.